Okay, hello everyone. Here is Alex from BlockTempo, and today we're gonna to talk about infrastructure. Maybe a lot of users they don't really know how it works, but it's really important to whole blockchain ecosystem. So before we start today our topics, uh, please introduction your guys briefly. So Flynn, could you do the first one?
Yeah, sure. Hi everyone, my name is Flinn. I'm with Infinity Ground. So basically, we are building a agentic IDE. So for creators and users, they can, with natural language, build their own dApps on chain. So we are basically, in short, we're building something for creators and also for developers to turn content to something on chain to monetize. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Walter, let's talk about BNB Chen. But I think everyone knows BNB Chen.
Yeah, I'll give a bit of introduction in case there are new people in the crypto space. So I'm Walter from business development at BNB Chain. Yes, we're one of the largest blockchain network out there. I think the most popular chain that we have is the layer 1, BSC, also known as BNB Smart Chain. Just to highlight, we also have a layer 2, OBBNB, and a decentralized data storage chain, Greenfield. So everything combined to be called BNB Chain. So one of the highest user base, TVL, and so on. And yeah, happy to be here sharing with everyone about the Infra and Web3 space. Thank you.
Okay, nice. Jink, please introduce Zerobase.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Chen. I'm from Zerobase. Zerobase is a prover network that is not a CKVM, but yeah, we do a lot of like zero knowledge proofs. We possibly be the biggest proof generator across EVM infrastructure, and also like we are in domain specific languages, which means that we generate 416 proofs rather than others. So we have third party verifiers, and we build a lot of apps on top of that.
Okay, Sergii, tell us more about Waterfall.
Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Sergii Grybniak and I'm the head of research of Waterfall. So Waterfall is the network which it is not a chain, it is a directed acyclic graph. So basically the purpose of this is combining scalability and decentralization, and a lot of my responses today will be about how to combine the both without basically, yeah, we'll talk about it later. But we launched a year ago, and we were the first EVM network to outperform bifactual scalability Solana and Aptos, and we did it with way less amount of funding. So currently we are expanding our ecosystem, and yeah, happy to share the insights with you. Thank you.
Yeah, awesome. So before we talk about infrastructure and we have to know every blockchain, our main goal, we like to do the most mass adoption, like a DeFi, NFT, gaming. Always we want to do the mass adoption. So I think about mass adoption, the most thing is the multi-chain. And multi-chain data centralization and stake management, how imagine infrastructure solution holding the exponential complexity of the maintain consistent data state across dozens of the connected chains, and one new consensus marginalization or data availability layers are proving most effective for cross-chain coordination. So, Sergii, could you give our first shot?
All right, let's yeah, thank you. So I have to say that my entire blockchain journey, I was working in Ethereum-inspired ecosystem, and basically I was building infrastructure. So me and my team were building the first one of the first layer 2s for Ethereum based on Plasma back in the days, and then later on we basically Waterfall. It is also EVM network, and yeah, like I said, it was first EVM network, but no, I mean, to achieve some significant performance at the time. So why did we do this, right? Because, you know, when we're talking about my background, I'm 20 years in software development and working with different size of enterprises. And when we are talking about mass adoption, presence of the standard is very important. So basically, when we have the situation in the landscape where we have 100 different solutions for the same problems which are not compatible with each other, it is a problem. So this is why we, back in 2017, we were not building Ethereum killer, we were building something to supplement Ethereum. And right now we're pretty much doing the same, contributing to the same ecosystem. So basically, when we are now we have back in the days, and now we have the wide number of protocols which are different from we have SVM, we have basically we have MoveVM, we have Michelson, for Tezos, etc. So generally speaking, when we are talking about data consistency, it is how we write and how we read the data, right? And when it would be in ideal scenario, we would have had the situation where we have the same data on the input before virtual machine and the same data on the output, and it brings to us the idea of the single state standard. And when this happens, it will, of course, simplify a lot of tasks related to interoperability. But let's say, again, we can be a little more optimistic because UTXC and UTXO and state model, they have different standards of transactions. So we are not able to achieve the situation that we are doing the same on the input, for example, for Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? But when we are talking about smart contract platforms, which all have, which a good number of them have basically account state model, they can do the step towards the same standard and standard, and this will be the next step for interoperability. It will significantly simplify the process. So, well, I can talk about it for quite some time, but I will leave it here and over to the next speaker. Thanks.
Okay. What about your Flinn? What do you think about it?
I possibly can add on something.
Okay.
Because, I think it's pretty important here to understand what are we going to look like when we have in the next year when we are here at Taipei Function Week again. So I think especially for the Ethereum environment, we are pushing towards the base rollup theme, or say Ethereum 3.0 kind of thing, if we call POS the 2.0. So the sequencer are actually going to be handled by the layer 1. And I really hoping that if you are an Ethereum holder or you are bullish on Ethereum, you do believe that in 18 months Ethereum layer 1 is going to be as fast as base layer 2 right now. So moving up towards that, there are a lot of ZK stuff, infrastructure stuff are happening, but the cross-chain composability and also interoperability will be so much better because all the sequencing are going to be done by layer 1 nodes. And layer 2s are going to be execution environments, which hopefully will be stateless. And we will solve a lot of EA problems, verifiability problems, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so I think there are a lot of great points about the technology aspect. So just to highlight a little bit on BNB Chain's end, that our engineers have always been improving the ecosystem. For example, reducing the gas fees and in reducing the block time and so on. So maybe I can touch a bit on how have we come so far for mass adoption in terms of the Web3 ecosystem, right? I think we have progressed a lot in the UI UX of products, so that helps with user adoption. Back then we have to find the wallet to use, and we connect to the app, and then when you're swapping a token, you need to ensure it's the correct smart contract and so on. All these things are slowly being optimized and defined with the use of AI as well and so on. It's easier to use, so people can enter the space much more easily. I think another key angle is actually regulations, because the technology is technically free for anyone to use as long as you have a computer. But yeah, we need to have regulations as civilization needs it, right? So, and also, when you have an open and permissionless system, there will be good actors and bad actors. Sadly, humanity is like this, right? So you need to protect users from bad actors, and that's where regulation comes in. We fully support. So what we can do is to help regulators create a framework around the world, and then I think adoption will definitely come in when the framework is very clear globally. Yeah, thank you.
Flinn, how about you?
Yeah, so the question was the multi-chain, but I will also join the the part of mass adoption, because I think we see this also in Europe. Basically, everyone is like only talking about some meme coins in that, and every time I have to look at this and I say, meme coins is not like only crypto. Yeah, you basically have to understand what crypto is giving you, and what is the potential about crypto and the ecosystem. And I think the first good option in Europe was the deepen stuff. So basically, you own a node, you can run it, and you don't have to understand what is behind. So they use your unused computing power, but you don't have to make some technical stuff, or you don't have to trust or anything else. You only run this game, or you run the dev or something like this. And I think we have to do it. We have to look all around. Also, not only in Deepin, we have to look on our key competitors, and not to get into like where's the best and what we can do together maybe. Yeah. So I think the next step is to work together and not to like compete each other. I think Sergei told about competing and some stuff, and I think that's the most important part, because we are all one ecosystem. Yeah, we're not against each other. Yeah, and for the multi-chain, for your question, sorry, I think many chains they are many data, and so sometimes we need new standards and new solution. I think we have some topics and some options, but at the end, they have to separate the contents and the data, and that's the most important part. And I saw some options, but I think we need a new standard, because when you say like you use like build an NFT on Ethereum and we want to use it on Polygon, you have the bridge, yeah, of course, but it's not that easy we come back to the mass adoption. So I think we need a lot of more other standards and options for this.
Yeah, I think you actually do a lot of like a conclusion for this like a multi-chain and mass adoption about this topic. And I tell you one thing, not only about in Europe they are playing meme coins. Asia is really we are good at playing meme coins.
I think so.
Yeah, and another infrastructure, I think in front and maybe around 2021 or to 2022, we always to discuss about ZK, or we will know about zero knowledge. So zero knowledge security architecture evolution beyond privacy, and how are ZK proof being integrated into core blockchain infrastructure for scalability, interoperability, and trust minimization, and what breakthrough are needed to make a ZK verification fast and cheap enough for mainstream adoption. I think maybe this question start from Gink.
Oh yeah, cool. I think ZK is already like cheap and fast enough.
Yeah.
Like people are not getting to know it. As I like tease around a little bit in my first answer, I would say it's like real-time proving is just around the corner, which means any layer 2 can use a ZK VM or a ZK proof generator to verify them on Ethereum layer 1 in less than 12 seconds. That means, so what that actually means and what that happens to the UI and UX, that actually means like you can maybe possibly like you can on-ramp on any single chain and then deposit into Arway on either Arbitrum or anywhere else. And also using a debit card. I don't know why, but people are using crypto debit cards more and more often these days. But maybe like your crypto debit card is on Scroll or something, but you can still using that because all the data are written to the layer 1 in 12 seconds, which like 12 seconds is the block time right now for layer 1, but hopefully like next year we're going to push that to 6 seconds. So those are like the infrastructure that ZK already brings to the Ethereum environment. But as a like infrastructure project, or say like we are building infra, we really try hard to build ZK apps Because I think the reason why, like, I strongly believe like 80% of people here didn't know like they are using a ZK infra or using a ZK project. So building the app is the most tangible way that people can actually like know what ZK actually means. So I think the problem is that every ZK project, I would say, they started from like a scaling solution, which comes to the end game that real-time proving what it's supposed to be. But so that actually means like Alice want to share a secret to Bob. And in this case, Alice is the layer 2s and Bob is the layer 1. Now we need to rethink about what are the else secrets that Alice want to share to Bob and why the heck Alice want to talk to Bob without talking about the verifier, talking about the prover, talking about costs or whatsoever. And another hot take on this one is that once everything goes through transparently, you don't need privacy on top of that. Let's say, I have to bring this up, it's like, let's say Hyperliquid. So it's a perp DEX and everything is transparent. And people are talking about, okay, we need ZK, we need privacy on top of that, but Hyperliquid just made it like up to now, possibly like one of the biggest DEX on chain and without any privacy. So we really need to like rethink about what are the privacy features are in there and what are the ZK apps is going to be like. Yeah, so we kind of introduced the like a ZK quant. So Alice is a portfolio manager and like without privacy, he or she or say the portfolio manager is not going to reveal their strategy. They're not going to take money from anybody. They're going to run it privately and getting some private liquidity and do that. But with ZK knowledge, Alice can take money from Bob, from everybody else. It's a public pool, everybody can stake into it. And then Alice can do the AUM and using the ZK to make sure that, okay, everything is verifiable, everything is legit. So those are like the first app we built for mass adoption, I would say. And also I think we are talking to more and more developers, like say, okay, what are the secrets here being shared? What are the next step for you to like adopt the ZK knowledge? Zero knowledge proofs, yes.
Yeah, and ready to stable out all the transaction and
Yeah, because once you have the verifier ability, then you can like really, I would say one of those things that people are talking more and more often right now is the trusted execution environments, basically like trusted servers. So once you have the server, then you have the ZK proofs, you can do like a lot of stuff. So and users are going to like integrate or say interact with the Web3 apps or say decentralized app, just like a normal app. And that will like lower the barrier so much, which we can see through the mass adoption, yes.
Yeah, let's say the future. So, what do you say about Sergii? Because I think you engaged that really long time, right?
Well, yeah, thank you. I will try to be concise since we don't have much time left. So, basically, what is a little bit of a slippery slope of ZK is actually that it is designed for privacy, but now mainly used for, for coordination, for scalability, etc. And why it is like this? Basically, Waterfall is based on my PhD, and which I received recently award for this. But my next topic of research is ZK for privacy, and why it is not yet that widely adopted in privacy, because the way ZK works, and which was very well presented by Gink, basically it is different from how we, for example, let's say we had private database and then we are replacing it with private distributed database, etc. So it should involve very different approach to basically to architecture of applications. So you have some private ledger, you have like public ledger, you have some different application specific proofs, and this is my next topic of research. So probably next year expect to hear back from me about it. Yeah, thank you so much. Over to the next speaker.
Yeah, I'll keep it clear and short. It's a BNB chain from the infrastructure perspective. I think it's about using the right tools for the right thing. So definitely ZK technology is very important for certain applications that needs it. Just like how blockchain, right? How DeFi was born, because it's a different way to track value, transparently on chain and stuff. So ZK is the same, and the beauty of BNB chain is that we are layer 1 and permissionless. So technically, anyone can develop any other layer 2s on it. Like it's welcome for everyone. So we have certain layer 2s like not developed by the foundation, like Max Chain and so on. So I think this is great. There are definitely a lot of use cases for ZK, and yeah, we welcome all these to be deployed on BNB chain as well.
Good.
Yeah. So I think Gink told everything about it, Water also, and I'm very happy when I see your research, etc. I'll wait for it 1 year. I think from my perspective, ZK makes blockchain way much easier and secure. We see a lot of projects like ZK Link. It's also like they do it together and bring it like much cheaper and also faster, but not lost security. Because the security part is, I think, the most important part in ZK. And it's not only every time has to be cheap and fast, it's also the security, of course, yeah.
Let's move forward to the next question. I think today's our question, like if I'm a developer, every is just an option. I can just like I want to do a multi-chain, or I want to just ZK, and the next is I want to compare about module and monolithic. Yeah, it's a lot of
Modular or monolithic.
Yeah, monolithic. Yeah, a lot of maybe you are the project owner or you are a developer. You will choose one to do that. So this module and monolithic trade-off as the industry moved toward to modular blockchain and architecture with a separate consensus, execution, and data availability layers. What unexpected challenges are emerging in terms of the security assumption, economic incentive, and composability across models? So, what about you? What is your perspective, Sergii?
All right. So, well, again, trying to be concise. So, basically, how to say this? Modular application is the modular infrastructure is the future. But currently, we are having a little bit of a slippery slope because, let's say instead of fully, how to say this? Modular is used to, to kind of overcome the shortcomings on the monolith, and basically it introduces the new level of threats and new kind of complexity of the application. So, for example, let's say, simple example, Ethereum, right, and layer 2s. So basically, we have decentralized Ethereum, and then we have, centralized but decentralized and not scalable Ethereum, and centralized and scalable layer 2s. So generally speaking, if we review this entire thing, we can say that it is both scalable and decentralized. But if we will view every existing component of this thing, we are having either trade-off. We are everywhere having the trade-off between scalability and decentralization. So this is why at Waterfall we decided to actually first overcome this limitation to combine scalability and decentralization on the same monolith structure, and then introduce basically the modular structure to introduce new features, including some of which were already mentioned. Over to the next speaker. Thank you.
I think I'll say modular infrastructure actually creates fragmentation. For one example, we deploy on 7 EVM chains, but BSC and Polygon or Base or OP will be a little bit different because they are going through different standards. So I would say modular gives you a lot of ways. Like you mentioned, you can decide, okay, I'm going to use whatever the DA is, maybe like Avail or let's say Egalayer or something, and then I choose a ZKVM, possibly 16 or RISC-0. They are super easy to use. You can just vibe code Rust. And I think I would bring up vibe coding as well, because AI can make a lot of mistakes, or say when you literally want to deploy it on BSC, one AI can do the job pretty good. But if, say, you want to deploy it on multi-chain, like any EVM chain, then the AI can make a lot of mistakes. So I think the key here is to make sure that real human being behind the screen is actually the leader of the orchestra. Like, okay, so how everybody works together, how everybody play it together. So, and I think like we are going towards a more monolithic or say the know-how era. One guy is going to say, okay, you use those kind of standards on these type of EVM chains, and you adopt other standards, or say convert it to another on other blockchains. Yes.
Yeah, frankly, my views are the same. Like, whenever it comes to technology, it's always about the right fit, the right tool. Like, as an infrastructure, right, BNB chain, we cannot really say which one is better. But let's say from a maker perspective, blockchain is very new industry, very dynamic, and maybe not representing a tech team modular might make more sense. But there will be different use cases that allows different use cases. And yeah, to touch up a bit on the AI side of things here, definitely AI very early, and AI is actually just figuring the data that we humans provide. So the more data we provide, like right now it's early, so I hope someday they have so much information and active learning daily across all the chains, such that you can deploy applications easily. They're optimized, this kind of applications, which ones are the best. And then same goes entering the financial space. Maybe you just have a crypto card that it just automatically stick your stables, maybe in the best chain, best user, that kind of thing. Everything is just, humans can do what AI do, but I may take 1 year, but the AI take maybe 1 hour or lesser, 10 seconds after even more years of learning. So yeah, we look forward to that, and I hope one day that it just be, when we talk about finance, it's straight away DeFi, centralized finance. There's no Web2, Web3, all technology will like converge into the most optimized one. Yeah.
And today,
sure. I think this part of modular, it gives a lot, like optimized separately, but I think all the flexibility that comes brings also a lot of risk. Yeah, and that's where I think we need to have like a key across all the sides, all the side tracks, all the risks. And I think when we patch up then option, that's pretty good for the whole system.
Yeah, and let me wrap up today our panel. And today our topic is the infra renaissance, building resilience Web3 foundations. And yes, from I think your perspective. Infrastructure not only about a renaissance, because infrastructure is a long-term plan, not only about just a week or 1 month. We can do a lot of things. Even infrastructure is a really long-term project from 5 years ago, 6 years ago. We do a lot of things. We can make our really mass adoption to come true. So yeah. So I think infrastructure right now is not really only it's just a lot of people they want to do. Hey, I do the infrastructure and I want to get some funds from the investor. Right now a lot of projects, they're not doing only just one thing. They really do a lot of mass adoption to help a lot of projects. They can use the like API, SDK to help them to do their projects, can let users can do it well in the future. Yeah. Okay, thank you for you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.